They're not trying to beat you, they're trying to read you, because once they know what triggers you, they don't need to attack. They can control the next move before you even make it. And here's the part most people miss. Your enemy doesn't need your weakness. They only need your pattern. The moment your anger shows up on schedule, the moment your explanations arrive on demand, the moment your silence breaks the same way every time, you're no longer a person. You're a predictable system. And predictable systems are easy to manipulate. But in this video, I'm going to show you Machiavelli's 7 ruthless psychology tricks. The exact mental tactics that make enemies hesitate, overthink, and collapse without you ever raising your voice. And the final trick? It's the one that makes even confident people spiral internally, because it removes the one thing the human mind cannot live without: closure. Stay with me, because once you understand this, you'll never be played the same way again. They think you need to be broken. They think you need to be scared. They think you need to be cornered. But that is not how intelligent enemies win. If they wanted you destroyed, they would attack directly. Force is loud. Force is expensive. Force leaves fingerprints. What they want is something cleaner. Something that costs them nothing and costs you everything. They want access. Access to your attention. Access to your mood. Access to the part of you that reacts before you think. Because once they own your reactions, they don't need to fight you. They can guide you. They can script you. They can predict you. And when you become predictable, you become controllable. Machiavelli warned that the most dangerous opponent is not the one who threatens you, but the one who studies you, the one who watches what makes you flinch, what makes you rush, what makes you explain. Observation turns your personality into a blueprint, and a blueprint turns your future into their plan. Most people misunderstand enemies. They think enemies move out of hate. That belief makes them careless. Enemies move out of calculation. They provoke you not to argue, but to measure your emotional temperature. They delay you not because they're uncertain, but because they want to see how quickly you crumble in silence. They compliment you not to support you, but to see what you crave. In Machiavellian terms, every reaction is a confession. Your anger reveals what you protect. Your defensiveness reveals what you fear. Your need to clarify reveals what you can't tolerate being misunderstood about. The moment your emotions follow a schedule, you are no longer dangerous. You are programmable. And once someone can program you, they don't need to defeat you. They simply lead you toward outcomes you think you chose. This is why people lose without realizing a game was ever being played. They think reacting is strength. They think defending is power. They think speaking proves confidence, but reaction places you inside another person's tempo. Defense accepts their frame. Speech gives them material. Machiavelli understood that authority belongs to the one who cannot be easily interpreted. Ambiguity is not confusion. It is protection. This video is not motivation. It is insulation. It is about outplaying your enemies mentally. Using Machiavelli's 7 ruthless psychology tricks, you will understand how enemies test emotional boundaries, how silence functions as pressure, how timing rewrites hierarchy, and why denying closure destabilizes even confident opponents. This is not about dominating people, it is about becoming strategically unreachable. Before we move forward, drop this affirmation in the comments: I am unreadable. And if you want real power, start with these books most people never read. The links for the books are in the description. Study them like Machiavelli would, not for entertainment, for advantage. Number 1. Enemies don't want to fight you. They want to steer you. Most people think power is force. Machiavelli knew power is direction. The enemy's first objective is not to destroy you. It is to influence you without being seen, because direct conflict creates resistance. It exposes intent. It invites consequences. Intelligent opponents avoid that. They aim for something quieter. Emotional control. Once they gain emotional control, they don't need to oppose you. They can guide you. They can shape your choices indirectly. The real battle is not your actions. It is your internal balance. They want permission to disturb it. Permission to affect your mood. Permission to alter your pace. Permission to make you second-guess yourself. Provocation is the entry tool. A remark, a delay, a cold tone, a withdrawal. Each one is calibrated to see if it can pull you off center. The moment you respond emotionally, the door opens. Now they're not guessing. They're adjusting. Hierarchy is not established by volume. It is established by emotional flow. The person who controls the emotional direction controls the interaction. When you become irritated, defensive, rushed, or eager to correct misunderstanding, you are no longer acting freely. You are moving inside their design. Most people misread provocation. They think it is meant to insult. It is not. It is meant to extract information. Emotional spikes reveal pressure points. Calm moments reveal expectations. Sudden reactions reveal attachment. From those signals, a behavioral map is formed. Once mapped, manipulation becomes efficient. There is no need for repeated pressure. The enemy simply presses where response is guaranteed. Machiavelli understood that men obey immediate needs, the need to be respected, the need to be understood, the need to be seen as right. Those needs create obedience, and when they are visible, they become leverage. Control is rarely loud. It operates through rhythm. Who speaks first? Who waits? Who rushes? Who explains? Who reacts? These shifts decide rank. The one who loses emotional balance first accepts a lower position without realizing it. From that moment, the interaction is not equal. One side probes, the other adjusts. One side leads, the other follows. Emotional discipline is not restraint. It is defense. When emotions remain inaccessible, leverage disappears. Without leverage, enemies must become visible. They must escalate openly or withdraw. Both outcomes expose them. If you want real power, start with these books most people never read: Influence and Manipulation, The 48 Laws of Power, The Prince, The Discourses, The Art of War, Meditations, The Republic, The Complete Works of Nietzsche. The links for the books are in the description. Machiavelli would not rely on instinct. He would build a library of strategy. Now, drop this affirmation: my emotions are inaccessible. Number 2, refuse reaction to break their leverage. Reaction is never neutral. The instant you respond, you surrender initiative. Machiavelli understood that power belongs to the one who acts by choice, not by impulse. Reaction places you inside a structure you did not design. It forces movement on terms decided before you even knew the game started. The moment you react, you confirm relevance. You signal that something outside you has authority over your internal state. Every response leaks information. Tone reveals priority. Speed reveals urgency. Words reveal intention. Silence after provocation reveals strength. But speech reveals shape. Enemies watch for these signals because they remove uncertainty. Uncertainty is dangerous for them. Clarity is safety. When you react, you make their calculations easier. You shorten their decision tree. You turn complexity into predictability. The first person to respond often occupies the weaker position. Response implies adjustment. Adjustment implies dependence. Leadership does not explain itself in real time. Authority does not rush to clarify. Machiavelli noted that those who hurry to defend appear guilty even when innocent, because urgency signals imbalance. Balance is the foundation of command. People think reaction demonstrates confidence. In truth, it demonstrates exposure. Exposure creates access. Access creates control. If someone knows exactly how to trigger your reply, they can pace you, they can exhaust you, they can redirect you. Reaction hands them the steering wheel. From that point onward, you are not navigating, you are correcting. Refusal to react disrupts this entire mechanism. When no response arrives, the enemy is left without confirmation. Their assumptions remain untested. Their pressure floats without landing. This absence creates discomfort because control requires feedback. Without feedback, certainty erodes. The enemy begins to second-guess timing, meaning impact. Their confidence weakens, not because you attacked, but because you refused to comply. Machiavellian power often appears passive, but it is not passivity. It is selective engagement. Reactionlessness is discipline. It is the conscious decision to deny access. When you do not respond, you are not avoiding conflict. You are forcing it to collapse under its own weight. Provocation requires participation. Without it, the provoker is exposed. Non-response reverses burden. Instead of you managing emotion, they must manage uncertainty. Silence becomes a mirror. They project motives. They imagine strategies. They fill gaps with fear. That internal noise leads to overreach. Overreach creates mistakes. Machiavelli understood that enemies defeat themselves when deprived of clarity. Confusion invites error faster than resistance. Refusing reaction preserves internal authority. You remain centered. Your decisions are not rushed. Your actions remain deliberate. This separation between stimulus and behavior is dominance. And here is what enemies rarely expect. When reactions disappear, interest fades. Manipulation depends on effect. If no effect is produced, effort feels wasted. The enemy either escalates openly or disengages. Both outcomes favor you. Escalation reveals intent. Withdrawal confirms loss of influence. In both cases, leverage dissolves. Machiavelli warned that those who show their inner workings invite interference. Reaction exposes machinery. Stillness hides it. The one who cannot be moved cannot be managed. That is why refusing reaction is not weakness. It is insulation. Distance creates freedom. Freedom creates choice. Power begins when reaction ends.